Mr. President,
Senator from Louisiana.
if I make it to heaven, and I hope I do, the first question I'm going to ask God is why bad things happen to good people. We've had some bad things happen in Louisiana to some really good people, as my colleague from Louisiana just referred to. This past weekend, while most of us slept, Louisiana lost yet another officer in the line of duty. East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff Sergeant Shawn Anderson, a photograph here, was a law enforcement veteran. He was a military veteran, and he was a father, Mr. President. He served high-risk warrants. He had been recognized for doing his job without resorting to firing his weapon. In short, he was an American hero, and he was a Louisiana hero. Saturday night, Sergeant Anderson was just doing his job. He went into a barber shop in search of a suspected rapist. Sergeant Anderson lost his life. A line of law enforcement vehicles escorted his body from the scene, and their flashing blue lights lit up the dark night. It's been a tough few months for our law enforcement families in Louisiana. We have buried 6 officers who were shot and killed simply because they were wearing a badge. In January, West Wego police officer Michael Louvier stopped to help at a traffic accident, and he was shot in the back of the head. Mr. President, Michael wasn't even on duty. He was driving home and saw an accident and immediately stopped his car to help. It's the kind of person he was. And all of you, Mr. President, and all of those listening to me today, no doubt saw the news footage of what unfolded along a busy Baton Rouge highway last summer. July will no longer be just about hot dogs and fireworks for us in Louisiana. The shootings that took the lives of 3 law enforcement officers shattered our summer and broke our hearts. Just a month earlier, Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Deputy David Michelle was shot 3 times, not once, not twice, 3 times in the back, and he died in Harvey. His killer apparently shot him because the killer didn't want to return to jail. Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask all those who wish to join me in saying a prayer for these law enforcement officers and their families. They were sons. They were fathers, Mr. President, and they're going to miss out on holidays and birthdays and graduations. They were men who sacrificed their lives so we can sleep a little bit better at night, Mr. President. And let us also, while we're praying for these brave men, and yes, women too, let's pray for an end to the violence. We've had enough flashing blue lights lighting up the dark nights in Louisiana. Thank you, Mr. President, and I would suggest the absence of a quorum.